Nepal, where landing feels like survival, and the mountains decide everything. This is the most impossible land on Earth. Nepal, a small country resting between giants, India below, and the Himalayas rising endlessly above. A place where the earth suddenly lifts into the sky, where roads become trails, and distance is measured in breadth. Here, the world feels vertical. Mountains are not far away, they are everywhere. They shape the weather, the silence, the lives. In Nepal, nature is not something you visit. It is something you live inside. From frozen peaks to deep green jungles, this land holds extremes that should not belong together. And in every corner, life continues, quietly, bravely, against the impossible. Snow catches the first morning light, and the world below disappears. The Himalayas stand without mercy, without apology, without end. A narrow trail clings to the mountain, as if carved by patience, not by humans. A village appears, small, unfinished against the vastness. Smoke rises from a single home, proof that life survives here. Children walk past older than roads, moving gently through thin air. Above them, peaks tower like frozen walls, watching everything. Here, nature is not scenery, nature is authority. A river cuts through stone, violent and beautiful, carrying glacier silence downward. Bridges hang over emptiness, swaying slightly, as if trust is the only way forward. Prayer flags tremble in the wind, not decoration, but a language of survival. In Nepal, even color feels sacred. Far beyond the mountains, the land suddenly changes. Green jungle breathes under warm rain. A rhinoceros moves through tall grass, slow, ancient, unbothered by humans. A shadow of a tiger slips between trees, seen for only a second, then gone. Nepal holds worlds that should not fit together. Ice and jungle, silence and danger, heaven and hardship. High in the mountains, a lone herder follows yaks across snow, a life balanced on cold cliffs. The wind never stops speaking here. And still, people stay. Not because it is easy, but because it is home. Monasteries cling to impossible ridges, where prayer feels closer than ground. Golden sunlight touches stone walls, softening a land built from extremes. Nepal is not loud. Nepal does not explain itself. It simply exists, raw, dangerous, beautiful. A country where the journey is never guaranteed, but the wonder always is. Nepal, the most impossible land on Earth, where survival and wonder begin together. And this is only the beginning. The trail rises higher, and the air grows thinner, as if the mountain is slowly taking space from your lungs. Stone steps disappear into mist, and every turn feels like the edge of the world. A lone hiker becomes a small moving dot beneath walls of ice and sky. Silence follows closely here, broken only by wind and distant water. Glaciers rest above the valleys, ancient, heavy, waiting. A crack echoes across the mountains, sharp, sudden, then gone. In Nepal, even the mountains move. Morning light spills across snowfields, softening the harshness, turning danger into beauty for a moment. Prayer flags stretch between rocks, fluttering like quiet messages sent into the cold. A herd of yaks crosses slowly, dark shapes against white silence, patient, unhurried, built for this world. Their bells ring faintly, a sound that feels older than language. A shepherd walks behind them, alone, steady, as if the mountain has taught him how to breathe. In these high villages, life is simple, not because it is easy, but because nothing else survives. Hands gather wood, feet follow narrow paths, homes cling to slopes, as if they're holding on. A woman carries water in the morning cold, moving with calm strength, the kind that does not need to speak. Smoke rises again, thin lines against the vast air, small signs of warmth in a land of ice. Above the rooftops, peaks watch without emotion, unchanged by human effort. And yet, people remain, not as conquerors, but as guests. Far below, rivers are born from snow. They rush through stone gorges, fast, unstoppable, cutting the earth open. Suspension bridges hang over roaring water, swaying gently, asking for courage with every step. A single figure crosses, small, quiet, surrounded by distance. Nepal is full of passages like this, between safety and the unknown. Then the forest begins. Pine trees rise tall and dark, their tops disappearing into fog. The air smells different here. Wet earth, moss, rain. Leaves tremble softly, as if something unseen has just passed. A deer stands still between trees, listening, then vanishes into green silence. High above, an eagle circles slowly, riding invisible currents, watching the valley breathe. In Nepal, wildlife does not perform, it survives. A paw print appears in mud, fresh, silent evidence that you are not alone. The jungle holds its own shadows. A tiger is never loud, only present, for a second, then gone. A rhinoceros moves like a living mountain through tall grass, ancient, untouched by fear. This country contains worlds that should not fit together. Ice above, wild jungle below, both ruled by the same truth. Nature decides. And in the middle of it all, human life continues quietly. Small towns appear between hills, rooftops catching soft sunlight. Temple bells echo gently through morning air, not calling attention, only reminding. Incense rises in thin spirals, warming the silence. Prayer wheels turn beneath patient hands, slow, steady, as if time itself is softer here. Faces pass in calm rhythm, carrying stories without urgency. Nepal does not rush. Even in hardship, there is still grace. Storm clouds gather again over the peaks, darkening the sky in minutes. The mountains return to their power, cold, immense, unforgiving. Snow begins to fall lightly, a quiet warning that beauty here is never separate from danger. And as the wind grows stronger, you begin to understand.
Nepal is not impossible because it wants to be. Nepal is impossible because it is real. A land balanced between heaven and survival. And the journey has only just begun.
The snowfall grows thicker, soft at first, then endless. Mountains fade into white air, as if the world is slowly erasing itself. A trail that was clear moments ago becomes only instinct. Footsteps disappear behind you immediately. In Nepal, nature can change the story in a breath. A lone lodge appears through the storm, a small light in vast cold. Not comfort, but survival. Inside, fire crackles softly, warming hands that have learned hardship. Faces sit close to silence, not bored, but respectful, as if noise would break something sacred. Outside, the wind continues, uninterested in human life. Morning returns slowly. Clouds lift like curtains, revealing peaks sharper than memory. The Himalayas rise again, immense, untouched, as if the storm never happened. Sunlight spills across glaciers, turning ice into gold. For a moment, the impossible looks peaceful. A narrow ridge leads forward, with emptiness on both sides. One step, then another, life measured in balance. A porter moves quietly along the path, carrying weight that looks unreal, strength without performance. In Nepal, resilience is ordinary. Far above, an avalanche scar cuts through a mountain face, a reminder that beauty here is never gentle. The land is breathtaking because it takes your breath. A hidden valley opens suddenly, green beneath towering snow walls. Waterfalls fall from cliffs, thin silver threads, feeding rivers below. Wildflowers bloom where they can, small rebellions of color against stone. A village rests in the valley's shelter, stone homes, wooden roofs, silence in the doorways. An old man sits outside, watching clouds move, as if he has all the time the world has lost. Children laugh briefly, then the sound disappears into open air. Life here is simple, not because it is small, but because everything else is too large. Prayer flags stretch across the valley, reds and blues against white peaks, a fragile bridge between earth and sky. Hands spin prayer wheels slowly, not asking for miracles, only for another day. A monastery stands above the village, built where nothing should stand. Stone against sky, faith against distance. Nepal is full of places like this, where humans do not conquer nature, they coexist with it. Lower down, the forest thickens again. Mist curls between trees, soft, watchful. A leopard moves through shadows, quiet as smoke, seen only in fragments. Birdsong echoes briefly, then fades. The wild is never far. Even near homes, survival breathes. Kali Gandaki Gorge. This is not just a valley. This is the earth split open. Between two giants, Annapurna and Dhaulagiri, the land drops deeper than almost anywhere on earth. A gorge carved by the Kali Gandaki River over centuries, cutting through stone until the mountains were separated. Wind moves through this canyon, low, endless, ancient. Far below, the river continues, quiet, unstoppable, carrying time forward. Standing here, you don't feel high, you feel deep. The cliffs feel heavy, the silence feels old. In Nepal, nature does not decorate, it carves. And this gorge is one of the deepest scars in the impossible land. Upper Mustang. And suddenly, Nepal changes. The snow disappears, the air becomes dry, the world turns red. This is Upper Mustang, a forbidden desert kingdom hidden behind the Himalayas. It feels impossible because deserts should not exist here, not inside Nepal, not beside the highest mountains on Earth. Wind carves the cliffs, rust-colored walls of stone, empty valleys, ancient silence. Nothing here feels modern, only open space, and the sound of air moving endlessly through rock. Upper Mustang was once closed to outsiders, protected by distance and mystery. Villages still rest here, built from mud and stone, unchanged for centuries, as if time forgot them. Prayer flags fade slowly in the sun, whispering above narrow trails. And deep in this emptiness, Lomonthong waits, a walled city of history, quiet, isolated, unreal. In Nepal, even geography breaks the rules. Ice above, desert below. One impossible land. Phoksundo Lake. Deep inside Nepal, far beyond roads, a hidden blue world appears. This is not just water, it is silence turned into color. Phoksundo is unreal, a turquoise lake resting in the mountains of Dolpo, so remote it feels untouched by time. The surface is still, like a mirror holding the sky. Cold cliffs surround it, watching, quiet, immovable. No crowds, no boats, only wind moving softly across the water. And the feeling that this place is secret. Here, sound disappears. Even footsteps feel too loud. Phoksundo is sacred, not because people made it sacred, but because nature did. A lake placed high above the world where the Himalayas protect the silence. In Nepal, even water can feel impossible.
Khumbu Icefall. This is where Nepal becomes impossible. Not in cities, not in stories, but in moving ice. The Khumbu Icefall is not a glacier that rests. It shifts every day. From far away, it looks like a silent white field beneath Everest. But when you enter, it becomes a frozen maze. Towering blue ice walls rise like skyscrapers, sharp, unstable, alive. Deep crevices open beneath the surface, dark cracks that feel endless. The air is thin here. Breathing becomes louder. Silence becomes heavier. Only wind remains, moving through the ice, like a warning you cannot ignore. This is one of the most dangerous landscapes on Earth, not because of people, but because nature is never still. Climbers cross slowly, carefully, sometimes over a ladder suspended above nothing. Every step feels temporary. And above it all, Everest is present, not fully seen, but always felt. A silent giant watching from the horizon. Khumbu Icefall reminds you, in Nepal, even ice is alive. It moves, it breathes, it changes, and it makes the world feel impossible.
Namche Bazaar. High in the Everest region, life gathers where it should not. A village built into the mountains, resting like an amphitheater of stone. This is Namche, the heart of the Sherpa world, a place of warmth surrounded by cold peaks. Stone homes cling to steep slopes. Prayer flags move in the wind, and footsteps echo on narrow paths. Here, the Himalayas feel close, not distant, but present, watching over everyday life. Namche is not only a stop, it is a reminder. That even in impossible places, people still belong. In Nepal, even villages exist at the edge of the sky. Rara Lake, far away in western Nepal. A quiet blue world waits. This is Nepal's largest lake, hidden in the mountains of Mugu. So remote, it feels untouched by time. The water is deep, dark blue, perfectly still. Pine forests surround the shore, and snow peaks watch from far above, silent, distant, eternal. Here, there is no noise. Only wind through trees, soft ripples on water, and the feeling of pure isolation. Rara does not demand attention. It simply exists. Calm, vast, impossible in its quietness. In Nepal, even silence becomes a landscape. Taliko Lake. Some lakes feel peaceful. This one feels impossible. Taliko rests above the world, high in the mountains of Manang, surrounded by stone, snow, and silence. The air is thin. The cold feels permanent. Water lies here, so blue, so still, it looks unreal. No forests, no villages, only bare cliffs. Watching quietly, as if nature placed this lake here and never explained why. Taliko is not easy to reach. It is earned through altitude, through emptiness, through silence. In Nepal, even lakes exist at the edge of survival. Everest Base Camp. This is not the summit. This is the beginning of the impossible. A place where the earth ends and ice begins. Here, beneath Everest, life becomes temporary. The ground is not soil, it is stone, glacier, and silence. Tents rest like small colors against a world of white and gray. Wind moves constantly, cold, endless, as if the mountains never stop breathing. People come here not to conquer, but to witness. To stand at the edge of something larger than life. Everest is not a destination, it is a presence. And base camp is where humans become small enough to feel the truth. In Nepal, even the beginning feels impossible. Lo Monthong, hidden in the far north of Nepal. There is a city the world almost forgot. A forbidden kingdom. Behind high walls, in the middle of Mustang's desert, life has remained unchanged for centuries. Stone streets run quiet. Prayer flags breathe in the wind. This is not a place of noise. It is a place of silence and survival. Lo Monthong once stood on the edge of Tibet, guarding an ancient Himalayan trade route. A city built to endure isolation. Here, the air feels thinner, time feels slower. And the desert holds every echo. Monasteries rest inside the walls, painted with stories older than memory. Lo Montang is impossible because it feels like stepping outside the modern world into a hidden chapter of Earth. Gokyo Lakes. Higher still, Nepal continues upward. Beyond glaciers, beyond stone trails, a chain of sacred lakes appears, resting above the clouds. The water is blue, cold, perfectly still, surrounded by endless white peaks. And silence so deep, it feels spiritual. Breath becomes visible here, then disappears. Time slows down. The world feels untouched. As if nature is holding its breath. Gokyo is not just beautiful. It feels like heaven hidden inside the Himalayas. In Nepal, even lakes exist at the edge of the sky.